Welcome back to Ashwalkers. I guess it's just about pushing on ahead. I did kind of go and check and look, and it seems like that all I saw is that this is intended to be the last leg of things. I don't know if I made good time or not. I tend to stop and investigate just playing games in general, so in that sense, maybe I didn't make a great time. But in terms of literal days spent in the game moving around and progressing, that's what I'm curious about. The third squad arrives at the outskirts of an urban ruin. Behind the chaotic mass of magma-fused buildings, in the distance they spy the massive shape of the Dome of Domes. Their objective is to get there, probably. That's exciting. We actually found the dome. I'm glad I didn't cut this game off at just 30 minutes. I'm also glad that I didn't think I was going to squeeze it all into one long-ass video. Would have been a bit much. This seems really, like, in my mind, like a very ideal amount of time to invest in something like this. But I'm left really, really wondering whether or not it's going to feel worth replaying. I won't on the channel. I'll pretty well guarantee, unless it blows my absolute mind at the end here. It's been strong. I bet it would be a lot more of the same. Maybe personally you'd come back to it every week or a few weeks or something, or just intentionally challenge yourself. Like, I'm going to be the most ruthless, badass mother effer that this land has ever seen, and I'm going to kill everything I come across, and start issuing yourself kind of personal challenges in that way, and try to really manage your group based on a specific target, and okay, I'm going to go to the Oasis. But, that branch took place in the third of 4 legs in this game, which means that you would have to play through a semi-repetitive first chunk. I don't know. There's a fair number of achievements in the game. There's quite a bit to explore and try. I'm seeing the potential, but it's not truly endless feeling like 34 endings seem to indicate. Because presumably, I'd go through this city wasteland every time, or most of the time. It is cool, though, to finally see, more structures. The squad members approach the last beacon. Their expedition will soon be at an end. The Dome of Domes is behind this ruin. They are going to make it, after all. Some cobblestones. It's starting to look more infrastructured. Radio communication is established. The operator is ecstatic at the news. He eagerly asks the squad, "What must we do now?" Dispatch part of the population as scouts. Don't do anything. Wait, hang back and study the route. Leave now seems dangerous. Wait. I know things are probably not going so well back at Who's it that we came from, but this has no guarantees. Maybe I could let you know if the Oasis sounds better. The operator seems disappointed, but keeps up a professional front. He tells the squad that he will await a signal before evacuating any inhabitants. He wishes the squad luck for the last leg of the journey. He shits on us and tells us, you guys, I'm sure you'll do fine. He's like, oh god, they're gonna die, we're all gonna die. And we're like, well, I'm motivated. The world's a dangerous place, but we must never lose hope. There's light to be found even in the darkest places. You guys actively just lost so much hope. I watched you do it. And then the operator's like, you guys, thank you. This is what we need. You've answered our prayers. It'll make a difference for all of society. Everyone owes you a great debt. And then you guys took it personally, like Michael Jordan. And you're just like, well, it's too much pressure. I hate it. Now I feel sad. That symbol came up once before. It was in the encyclopedia. That image marked a section of the encyclopedia. This is a rare architectural site here, a collection of collapsed buildings buried under multiple layers of volcanic rock. This site can also offer some valuable temporary shelter. That is such a cool concept. Crumbled buildings that then on top of that had I've never seen that. I've never seen that before in anything. The urban labyrinth. 2 paths fork away from the underground ruin. One path leads up, and the squad members sense a human presence ahead. The other path leads down, and there's no apparent company in it. We've gone under. We've done the under. I'm taking the upward. Handshake, diplomatic, positivity. Encountering humans might give them valuable information for the next leg of the journey. Now you're thinking. It's a positive takeaway, I suppose. I like where your head's at. I think it could be great. Good stuff for everyone. Yeah, okay, upward. The Abyss. I didn't take the Abyss. Reduce the squad's hope levels to the minimum. Oh no. Alright, I'm setting up camp. That seemed like an interesting achievement. Nope. Everyone's having the worst time of their lives. Misery, plenty, despair has taken absolute hold. I need like the narrator from Darkest Dungeon to drop in with like his despair washes over all of you. No hope to be found. I don't know. That guy says epic shit all the time. It's like my favorite part of that game is his little narrations. So stopping at all boosts morale. Talking does as well, right? Oh, this could be interesting. I've never made everyone just stop and talk to each other. Is that valuable? I guess we'll see. It really seems like people could have used sleep more than this, but you still gain some energy from this. Your map. Oh, yeah, cool. You get like unlock more encyclopedia things through talking, so it's a good way to get lore, I guess. Your map that'll take us north. Where does that come from again? It belonged to my parents. It's kind of outdated now, I guess. Unlike Callie, who deciphered the code to crack the beacons. We had the code to the first beacon, but nobody'd ever decode the encrypted geolocalization data in the second place. I thought Petra was like our tech wizard. You're all valuable. You all contribute to the team. Is that what you wanted to hear? The silence is a good thing, I guess. The silence isn't about no one wanting to talk to each other. It's there's nothing to be said, because things are going great. Everyone's quite happy. Yippee doo-dah. I think what I should do, because I'm planning to do this regardless. Oh, maybe not. I was going to throw more wood on the fire. And my general thinking there was that I would throw wood on the fire, spend 3 times for the first time. I don't think I've ever spent 3 at a single fire. Empty-handed. Sweet. And injured. Oh, just good stuff. Not very restful. A squad member feels the ground shaking beneath their feet. An earthquake, a daily occurrence here, has been triggered in the distance. Okay, just a standard event. Didn't really seem to affect anything. But I figured, I would have the extra warmth from the fire. We would get that little bit extra out of it and everything. I do want Sin on the guard. 50% chance of taking 3 damage. Empty-handed. The danger is high. The hostage. Sin is surprised by a couple of wounded savages who threaten him with a spear. Sin remains calm and pulls out the squad's first aid provisions. The savages pillage what they can and run away with the spoils. Oh, they took all of it. That was like the thing I had the most of. That was the whole thing. If I was willing to gamble the danger, thinking, the worst thing that can happen, I'll probably get hurt a little bit. I think I'm sitting on a pretty healthy supply of medicine. I'll heal everyone up. It's worth it to have everyone rested, and then we'll move on. Nope. Turns out what's worse than that is having all your shit stolen. We're critically short on first aid supplies. What if one of us gets wounded? Don't. That's don't be so negative. Bringing down the group, bringing me down. I'm trying to lift everyone's spirits here. And 2, Don't get injured. I've kept you all like full fighting fit health this whole time and avoided like all battles. You know, things have been going well under my supervision, and I don't want you guys spoiling that. So just try to keep it together, please. Big mirror, real big mirror. Acid air, warmth lost, energy lost, and hope lost. And we want to move everyone to here? That's the long-term plan? Oh god, the energy is plummeting so quickly. That's not great. I just did such a lengthy stopover. Shit. I need to harvest everything, basically. Oh shit. Warmth, energy, everything dropping. But I really want to make it to this next like box, because it clearly is going to be more fire. Maybe it'll be more something else. Please don't have an encounter on the way there, because I feel like I really need whatever we're going to get out of that. A pretty healthy helping of food. Oh god, everyone's like too exhausted to pick up food? You guys, you're gonna starve. It's right there waiting for you to take it. Just reach out and grab it. Seriously. Everyone gets one. Might as well. Everyone might as well get one. The dinner. What's that one? Use 100 resources. I've been plowing resources. I've been using a lot. We're in the end game now. Danger level high. Come on. Danger level must just always be high at this stage. I think this is insane. And probably not the smartest move. I'm jacking up the danger, so I think if I'm calculating this correctly, I would be jacking it up to 70. At this point, everyone just needs to make it to the end. They don't have to make it to the end with full stomachs and full health. That's not what we're aiming for anymore. I was anticipating getting hurt. I don't think anyone's going to die from that. Savages attack the squad. The squad members ferociously defend themselves and each other, and they kill the enemies one by one. Maybe too bad they didn't have any like supplies to drop. That would have been great for us, right? We still have some med kits. Danger, crazy high. We're packing up. We're getting out of here. But that was it. That was me leaning into the thing that the game even specifically had said that I was tending to favor. You know, I'd rather take a hit and power through it. Is this I guess it's a building. It looks like it belongs in Batman the Animated Series, but it also kind of looked like a big cruise liner turned up on its nose. The Observer. The squad picks its way through the narrow ruins. Suddenly, Petra senses eyes following the squad in the darkness. A human figure is watching them. Provoke them, call them over, set a trap, run away. Diplomacy. Right? Come on. Surely they're looking for someone to help. Probably. We've seen enough savages. Hopefully this is just a helpful loner. You step out into the open and ask the Observer to leave his hiding place to have a conversation. After a few seconds of silence, the figure slips away into the darkness. You suck. I hope that they don't, like, you know, circle back and specifically come attacking. What is happening with the backwards walking? Okay, they were getting pushed forward. I thought they just decided, you know what? I'm gonna moonwalk my way to the Dome of Domes. If I can't see it, it's not happening. I'm just gonna keep my back turned the whole time. No spooky shadow wendigos or shadow people or savages or anything can stop me if I just commit fully to this method of traversing the Ashlands. Yes, it was something like that. I feel for the first time in a little while that I'm regaining a supply of resources, so that feels good. The attack, this is bad. This is probably the Observer coming back. Suddenly, at a bend in the ruins, a group of savages appears and blocks the squad's path. Armed, the savages approach and order them to hand over any food. We could attack first. We don't have enough food to give, so we have to attack. We're fighting our way out of this. We attack them. In the face of such a violent response, the savages beat a swift retreat into the ruins. That was like the most I could have hoped for. That was legitimately like precisely how I hoped that would go. Destroyed drone. Oh, that looks like a very small version of the thing that I skipped investigating. That other thing looked like a big. I thought it was like a weird helicopter. It might have been a type of drone. Here lies some Lazarus military technology hacked beyond repair by crude weaponry. You know, the more caveman approach to hacking. The savages in this city are at war with Lazarus. We're Lazarus, right? Lazarus came back from the dead. We're trying to come back from the brink. It's a good title. Fitting, I would say. I'm going to blast through our energy, specifically to grab up that food. Immediately set up camp. People are decently hungry, but mostly the fires are what's causing us trouble. I'm going to use some med kits, even though it fully uses the med kit. But use it rather than lose it is kind of the approach I'm going for here. I don't want to get robbed running into any savages, and so this is my main strategy. I'll have one guard. Oh god, danger! I just watched it crawl all the way up to. Oh god, food and med kits. That's great, fantastic. Wave of rats. Alerted by Callie, the rest of the squad members see a terrifying horde of rats swarming towards them. They quickly scramble to higher ground to avoid the horde. Took away a bunch of restedness from everyone. Okay, luckily the two... I was scared it was going to mean, like, you didn't actually sleep at all. Joke's on you. No, there was still some sleep to be had. God. 3 fires. All right, well, there's my next camp ready to go. 100%. The collapsing city. Ears alert to every sound. Petra spins Sin to the ground. Pins. With a painful crunch, suddenly a concrete block crashes to the ground in exactly the spot they were standing. Barely hurt. Barely hurt. That could have been a lot worse. I'm shocked it wasn't a lot worse. I have what we need to deal with it. A medkit heals a 4 full. A full 4. The medkits are very effective. There's great promise here. Those look like giant spider cocoons, and I hate that. At least it's air conditioned. It would seem. Oh, this is like a nightmare scenario. I think we turn back. I think we let society crumble. This is fine. The volcano did nothing wrong. It was in the right. If all it was trying to do was nuke the giant human car-sized spiders. The squad approaches an insect nest. Ensnared and immobilized within this giant mass is a man. He's still alive, yet pinned to the ground by a web of sticky threads and gluey secretions. Free the man. Take the prey away? No. No. I need to make sure they don't come for me. They got something to eat, maybe they'll leave us alone. A heavy thrumming fills the room as they leave. The insects swarm upon their weakened prey. Sorry, maybe that's the guy who was spying on us. Maybe that's the creep. Maybe that's the ones who attacked us. This game is eating away at my trust. I felt like I was a more caring, trusting person, and it's been taken away from me. No longer. Everyone for themselves now. We'll find a new home for our people. I know we will. Man, am I ever glad I took the time and went so resource-oriented in like the earliest step of this game. Because now every little thing you come across matters so much. Everyone gets so tired so quickly. Hope is lost. Just devastating. dropped off to nil yet again. Jeez, guys. I guess I'll let you take a second to talk. Because I don't really... two fires. Because I gotta plan ahead a littlest bit, I think. It seems important. I guess everyone's eating. It seems like everyone's got a lot on their mind. A rest would go a long way. But the danger is like 100 every single time. Did I ever tell you about the time I was stuck underwater for 2 whole days in the Great River during a you mean the Grey River during a pyroclastic flow? How'd you survive? 2 days? How'd you breathe is what I mean to ask. No, you never told me that tale. That's impossible. You don't want to know my cunning survival technique? Of course I want to know. Go on, tell me. No, we don't get to hear. I guess maybe you would have to invest in this several times and have them specifically talk more. Everyone takes 2 damage. We're not defending ourselves ever, I guess. I'm gonna hand out med kits. I have a sneaking suspicion that they're gonna get stolen if I don't. I'd rather wait till people were more injured, you know, to bother spending that, but I think I just have to do it. I didn't mean to make these 2 characters specifically talk so often. I meant to do more of a variety. Like, I think the 2 outside, Petra and Nadir, never really spoke. I just never really... Yep, there goes all my med kits. Kind of thought that might happen. They can't just attack me every time, you know? They gotta mix it up, keep me on my toes. Well, guess I should have used every med kit, not just a couple of them. But I thought I would plan ahead a little bit. That looks like a dead end. So does this. It's pretty... The game is non-linear in that there's lots of choices, and presumably the choices lead you to different destinations, but it's kind of funny that the literal movement and exploration of the game is quite literally linear. Very low load times. Like, I'm letting that one play out in real time, not bad. That's, like, super acceptable in my opinion. I have no issue with that. I apologize if anyone needs a bandage. You'll just have to try not to bleed anywhere. Yeah, just hold your blood. Keep it sucked in. Just don't let any of that loose. Good? Friends? Good guys? The patrol. An armed patrol passes. Among them is a savage who closely resembles the figure they encountered earlier. We tried to help. We tried to be good. We're good. We didn't attack. He points to them. The patrol greets them amicably, then leaves without further ado. I think that ended up being the right choice. I thought the immediate attack that took place was my, like, instantaneous consequences of that choice. This is good. This is very, very good. Because I am low on everything. Dealing with any sort of fight right now or any of that would have been catastrophic. I can't stop. I might just have to try to push forward all the way to the literal dome. If there's not going to be any more resources in this area, my energy's going to plummet. Oh, I have to have my energy high enough to be able to rest in front of a new resource thing. Because if I rest now and I healed my energy back up to 50, then back to 0 again, then no one will have any energy to harvest anything, and I'll be totally boned. The shack. The squad members step into a shack where they find an old woman alone. She can't stop coughing and is hacking up the bloody contents of her lungs into a filthy rag. As she watches the scouts enter the house, she remains silent. We can't help her. Don't kill her. Ugh. This is clearly like some form of society. You know, the Joker would respect that. The old woman's coughing loudly. The scouts do not linger and continue on their way. Surely I didn't attack anyone. I didn't loot the poor sick old lady. I'm doing my best here at great cost to myself. Oh, wow. This looks amazing. It kind of reminds me of like what they went for with the stacks in Ready Player One. It's a bunch of sea cans and like tin piled up to form housing. Was that anyone's grandma? Or, you know, mother of mother, as this game would put it? Does anyone want to hook me up? Free conversation to the free talk of the Dome of Domes and its inhabitants, the governors. Okay, that's all. It's more than I want to know about that. I'd like to leave now, please. There we go. I felt very held hostage by that free conversation. Felt like it cost me a lot. It was not free by any measure of the word. I don't really see the dome, you know? The game tells me the dome was in sight, but I'm not really witnessing that. My morale shattered. Everyone's cold as shit. Everyone's freezing. No energy left. Is that big chimney? Doesn't look much like a dome to me, but maybe. Oh, come on. And I'm about to start starving. You have to wait till camp. Hold on. Hold on, team. Something. It's not going to be resources. It's going to be a fucking scrap of paper. It's kind of cool the way all the people and everything are like ash. It's a clever stylistic workaround to drawing 100 character models, you know? Memorial, free folk killed by the governors. That's what this tall ass thing is. There have been others who tried to access the Dome of Domes before the arrival of the squad, but it clearly resists intrusion. You're critically short on literally everything, dude. You're not in a good way. So, you know, try not to think about it too hard. Oh god. Everyone, I didn't want to have to break camp. Shit. But Nadir's health was plummeting. Just like off the map. Just, to like an insane degree. I have to try and keep as many alive as I can. I could literally break camp without doing anything. Low risk of bad things happening in this like civilization. So instead, I need everyone to get some energy back in the off chance that we encounter a thing to accumulate resources from. The forced march, cranky probably too. Maybe getting some blisties. It's not going great. They could hurt us. Maybe Nadir would die if he got hurt at all. But, you know, it's not like they can steal any food from us or anything. So I say whatever, guys. Rest up. Because this is it. The water tank, full of weeks of acid rain. The water tank above the camp creaks, then tips over and pours toxic contents over the squad's camp. They splash their way miserably out of the corrosive mess. Just a quick acid shower. It, you know, it takes the dirt off, but it tends to take a few more layers with it than you probably intended. Nadir is literally on 1 health. How nuts is that? Do you know what? I think this would be a really fun feature in this game. I'm fine with the names that are given, whatever, but it would be so fun if I could name them myself and my family or friends or something like that and have this little like personal investment of like, no, Graham's gonna die. He's 1 health away from dying. I gotta make sure he makes it to the dome at a minimum and you know, get like personally invested in that way. Or like, oh man, if there's custom things where it can be like, you assign stats and skills to each character to ensure some have certain... Oh, look at that. Look at that bulky one in the end there. It looks like the Thing from the Fantastic Four. Like, yeah, that would just be cool. I'm going to make a team of nothing but survivalists and, like, hunters and things. Or, like, oh, they'll all be tech people or to play around with it. This looks really... Like, the text isn't usually this big, is it? Is it? The King of the Free. The squad members are invited into a circular chamber bedecked like a throne room. A stern-faced man stands bolt upright and steps forward from the black back of the chamber to shake the hands of each squad member. His handshake is firm yet welcoming. He invites them to sit with him. Maybe that last little rest was probably necessary, because Nadir would have just dropped dead. He introduces himself as the King of the Free, unifier of the Grey people. I'm telling you, everything's grey. From all horizons, he lays out his objective. He wants to shelter his subjects inside the Dome of Domes, currently occupied by a coterie, taking a guess on that one, of old world aristocrats, the Lazarus governors. Maybe we aren't Lazarites. That sounds like the appropriate term. Callie suggests the squad's objective is similar, to find shelter for the Citadel's inhabitants, right, the Citadel, as Dome KM3 is about to collapse. But I don't know if we're Citadelans or anything like that. The king expands upon his problem. My problems are bigger. Capturing the Dome of Domes would not be an issue given the number of troops he has at his disposal, but getting the Dome's IT and aerological systems to work would be far beyond his means. However, the squad and the Citadel's population have the skills to save his people. Good thing I kept everyone alive, full of skills. In exchange for technical assistance and advice in conquering the Dome of Domes, the King of the Free would be proud to take in the squad and the whole population of the Citadel. With calm determination in his eyes, he patiently awaits the answer. Help? Refuse? Oh, they're technically savages. No! Help. I don't know, man. We're desperate. I think we need to join forces. Smiling warmly, the king rises up with dignified joy. He orders his guards to make some quarters ready for the squad while he rustles up everything needed to celebrate this occasion. And to stab us in the back? There's still like a 70% chance of that. The squad has found a new and important ally, someone calm and generous. Do you know what? Maybe it entirely ties back to not... I didn't kill that guy. I didn't harm that old lady. Those might have been catastrophic events of them being like, we clearly can't trust you. During the evening, the King of the Free asks the squad for advice. His people are warriors. War is their way. But perhaps there are other means. Yeah, not war. The opposite. That's the other way. He asks the squad members what they think. Should they continue with the assault or try to reason with the governors? Diplomacy has worked well for me. I say I can work with you. I can make that happen. They offer to become negotiators. The king's perplexed at first, but he takes some time to think over and weigh up both sides of the situation. That guy looks like extra short. If he can avoid the bloodshed of his people through diplomacy, then it's worth a try. He embraces Callie, clasping her warmly in his arms for a moment before releasing her for the sake of decorum. If peace can be found, he will be eternally grateful. The squad can prove to be life-saving in more ways than one. If we just save the king in some small way. Tomorrow, the squad... I keep expecting, like, he hugged Callie, and as he pulled away, he left a knife in her back, you know? Tomorrow, the squad will go to meet the Lazarus governors in search of a solution for peace. Is that an ending found? Achievement! The Dome of Domes. I still have to walk up to the dome. I'm like dying. I'm actively dying. Peace in the dome. In awe, the squad members step towards the Dome of Domes. They wait on the bridge that connects the outside world to their gigantic future refuge. It reminds me of Attack on Titan, like the big walls and stuff, or like Biodome. I don't know. This game ties in a lot of things that feel familiar, like just a second ago with the stacks, but it all feels new. The collapsed buildings with a layer of volcanic stuff, that's my favorite part so far. That's so cool. Even more awe-inspiring than the Citadel. Yeah, I would assume it's not the Citadel of Citadels. Okay, it's pretty regular. A puny, twisted man with a rectangular face exits the Dome of Domes dressed in traditional Lazarus uniform, accompanied by a military drone and ready to act. He steps towards the squad. The squad members and the governor strike up an intense discussion. The squad members argue their case well. and the governor appears to acknowledge the strength of the Savages' army. He accepts that his population is in peril, and by rejuvenating their population with Savage and Citadel inhabitants, their chances of survival will be increased exponentially. Yeah, everyone has something different to bring to the table. The governor welcomes the squad, the Savages, and the Citadel's population into the Dome of Domes, but on one condition. The squad must take responsibility for the consequences of their people's arrival from the Citadel. Come what may, before the end of the conversation, he asks the squad how best to limit conflict. So, like, if they die on their way, or if they get there and people don't get along, I don't really know what the whole thing is with the injury. That's what that is. But I don't get what the whole thing is with when I took part in that fight. I think that warning was probably saying, like, he's a psycho, it'll kill them. The population will be kept separate and split up according to their skills. I don't know. It seems like you're asking for classism. The populations will settle in waves. All refugees will share the dome on an equal basis. Savages, governors, and the Citadel populace will each have their own district. No. Also bad. The waves seems risky. But maybe that's, you're colonizing, you're settling. You're establishing like a base, and then they'll welcome in the next set of people. The squad's cautious proposal satisfies the governors, but the Savages are not happy. The gradual influx of refugees in waves will lead to them growing in numbers on the outside of the dome. However, the Savages finally agree and accept their time will come. But when? The squad contacts the Citadel, informing them of the situation and advising them the path to follow. Make sure you bring lots of wood with you, and medicine, and things. Pack it all up. No need to leave anything behind, in case you were wondering. As they prepared the Great Exodus, the Citadel population decided to dispatch a vanguard composed of the most vulnerable among the population, guarded by elite pathfinders. Under-equipped, the vanguard suffered heavy losses during the journey, but it held the standard of a hopeful people high. The vanguard reached the region of the Dome of Domes in 100 days. I guess they would be slower than 4 people making their way without having to protect the weak or anything like that. At first I didn't think they were going to say there was going to be a vanguard. I thought their strategy was send all the weak ones first. If they can make it, anyone can. The vanguard arrived in a dome governed by the King of the Free. The king was worshipped by his people almost like a god, and he had become more despotic over time. The squad managed to make him keep his promise despite his authoritarianism. He accepted, but on one condition. Everyone's got conditions. In order to stay in the dome, the vanguard, the squad, and KM3 had to recognize his superiority and submit to his authority. Come on, man. That's some dickishness. For sure. Seems like you threw that into the pot right at the end there. Who do you think you are, Darth Vader, altering things last minute? The vanguard reluctantly agreed to the demands of the King of the Free. All bowed down to his authority in order to guarantee refuge in a secure dome. I swear I was on the cusp of the best ending, and it's slightly dialed back now. By the time the remainder of the KM3 arrived, society inside the dome had become a feudal monarchy, with serfs living in slave-like conditions and savage lords dominating the population. Ultimately, the squad bought their safety at the cost of their freedom and honor. They achieved their objective, but were left with an overriding sense of bitterness. That was legit just the one ending. The serfs. My goodness. Short expedition, hey? Took a fair amount of time. Pace is taken, that's funny. The scout sentinels. Favored behavior combat 22. Character most listened to. Sin. What were all the... I also just earned a wave of achievements right at the end there, so I kind of wanted to double check what all of those were connected to. Here they are. Complete a game with 4 characters alive. Complete a game having used more than 100 resources. Complete a game in less than 66 days. Seriously? is that, I thought I took like 70. Reach one of the game's endings. Yeah, that last one's a bit of a given, isn't it? There is not a separate achievement for every ending, but maybe there's achievements for unlock 5 endings. Yeah, I didn't. Unless some of those days might have taken place after I technically reached it, I guess. That was an adventure. I didn't expect to spend such a large chunk of my evening on this, but I dig it. I think that was really fun. Took me 2.5 hours to reach an ending there. I doubt it would take that long every time. I'm pretty impressed I kept everyone alive, though. I feel good about that. Oh, I like that you can access the encyclopedia outside of runs, and it's like a cumulative thing you're building up to, rather than, oh, you start fresh on a new run and you have to keep track of what you have and haven't found. Yeah, that's a logical little feature there. Ashwalkers, a survival journey, available now. I'll have a link down in the description if you want to take a chance for yourself. If you find a different ending, let me know. What led you there? What were the differences? What was the outcome? I'm very curious. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you again